Hi guys, welcome to Engineers YouTube channel, and today we're going to solve some problems to apply what we have learned about atomic number, mass number, and isotopes. And I'm sure that this is going to be useful in your studies because your teachers might be doing the same thing to represent to you the atomic structure the same way that we are doing, and will be giving you the same exercises like this. Okay, so we're going to complete this table here and solve several problems to apply what we have learned. Okay, so I'm sure this is going to be useful in your review and study of chemistry for atomic number, mass number, and isotopes. Okay, so without further ado, let us now jump to our featured lecture. Well, before we proceed in answering these problems, let us first have a review about atomic number, mass number, and isotopes. First, let us consider this circle here as our nucleus. And we learned that inside our nucleus, we have what we called the proton. So let's say for this example, we have a nucleus having 3 protons inside the nucleus, right? And we learned that these protons are positively charged. Right, and for neutral atoms, the number of protons inside the nucleus should be equal to the number of electrons outside the nucleus. So that means if we have 3 protons inside the nucleus, we should also have 3 electrons outside our nucleus. And these electrons are negatively charged. So as you can see, we have here a positive charge of 3 and we have a negative charge of 3. So we have positive 3 and negative 3. That is why our overall charge is equal to 0, or we call that neutral. That means the charges are equal to 0. And we also learned that aside from the proton inside the nucleus, we also have what we call the neutron. Okay, neutrons are uncharged particles, so that means they do not contain any charge. And their number is also changing for a given element, and that is what we call their isotopes. Okay, so we already learned that from our previous lecture video. So if you want to learn more about that, you have to watch our previous video about the isotopes. Alright, so how do we write isotopes? Okay, so let's consider our element neon. And if you look at the periodic table, you will find that the atomic number of neon is equal to 10. So that means it has 10 protons inside its nucleus, because as we learned before, the atomic number is the number of protons inside the nucleus. Okay, and we learned from our previous lesson that in writing the isotopes of an element, we write the atomic number here at the bottom left. On this case, we have atomic number of 10. So you will write 10 at the bottom left of our neon. And then we have what we call the mass number. Okay? And by the way, this is a mistake. This should be mass number. Okay? So this should be mass number. Sorry about that. And we learned that the mass number is the total number of protons and neutrons inside the nucleus. Okay? So for a neutral atom of neon, we should have 10 proton inside the nucleus and 10 neutron inside the nucleus. So that's why in our neon, we should have 20 mass number, which will be written on the top left of our symbol of the element. Now, if you don't see anything on the top right of our symbol, that means this element is neutral. Okay, or our atom here is neutral. But let's say you find a neon that is written like this. So it's the same. We have atomic number of 10. But this time you have a mass number of 22. And then on the right side, you have 2 plus. This means that this neon element in here is not neutral, but rather it is positively charged. As you can see here, it has 2 plus. At the same time, you will notice that we have 22 on the top left of our neon, which means that there are 2 additional particles inside our nucleus compared with our example in here. Okay? So, using this idea, we are going to solve all of the problems that we have right now. Okay? So, for now, let me remove everything that I wrote earlier because we are going to start solving our problems. Okay, so let's begin here in our first row in which we have aluminum. Okay, so according to this information, we have 13 protons inside our nucleus. So I'm not going to write all the circles here. So rather I will just write a positively charged proton and I'm going to write times 13 here. Okay, so just to tell that we have 13 protons in here. At the same time, we have 14 neutrons in here. So it is not charged. Okay, so this is 14. Okay, so this is our given information in here. So as you can see, all of our given elements are neutral. So we will not be considering any charges here. And for neutral element, we know that the number of protons inside the nucleus is equal to the number of electrons outside the nucleus. So that means we have here negatively charged electron, which is also equal to 13. So we can write that here. It's the number of electrons, which is 13. Now, the atomic number, as we have learned before, is the number of protons inside the nucleus. So in this case, we have 13 here. So we have atomic number of 13 here as well. Now, what is our mass number? Mass number is the total number of protons and neutrons inside our nucleus. So in this case, we have 13 plus 14, which is equal to 27. Okay, so we already filled our first row. Now we're going to the second row. So let me remove what we have written here. All right, so now in this example, we have atomic number 35 and mass number 80. So as we have learned earlier, the atomic number corresponds to the number of protons inside the nucleus. So that means in this case, if we have an atomic number of 35, that means we also have number of proton, which is 35 in here. Okay, so we can draw that here in our circle. We have positively charged proton, which is 35. Now we know that the mass number is the total number of proton and neutron inside our nucleus. Okay, so we have 35 protons and our mass number is 80. So that means the mass number is equal to the number of protons plus the number of neutron, right? So the mass number is equal to the number of protons, which is 35. And we know the mass number here, which is 80. So we can get the number of neutron. So the number of neutron is that equal to 80 minus 35, which is equal to 45. So we can write that here, the number of neutron is 45. And for neutral element boron, the number of protons will be equal to the number of electrons, which is also 35. Okay, so we already finished our second row. We will now go to the third row. Okay, for copper, the mass number is 64 and the number of electron is 29. So we have electron, which is outside our nucleus, which is 29. So it is negatively charged. Okay, and this is 29. Now we have protons and neutron inside our nucleus, right? So we have proton, which is positively charged, and we also have neutron, which is not charged. And we don't know the value of both of this one, but we know that the mass number is equal to the number of proton plus the number of neutron. Okay, so for neutral copper, we know that the number of electron is equal to the number of proton. So that means if we have 29 electrons outside, we also have 29 proton inside our nucleus. So we know that proton is equal to 29, right? So let us use that. Our mass number is equal to 64. Our number of proton is equal to 29. Okay, so by the way, let me write that in our table. So number of proton will be 29 as well. Okay, then using that, we have here plus number of neutrons. So that means the number of neutron is equal to 64 minus 29, which is equal to 35. All right, so that means we have 35 number of neutrons here, and the number of protons is equal to our atomic number Z. So we have 29 here. Okay, so let's go to our fourth row. Okay, we have here nitrogen, which has an atomic number of 7. Okay, so we learned earlier that the atomic number represents the number of protons inside our nucleus. So in that case, we know that if you have atomic number of 7 here, that means you have the number of protons, which is also equal to 7 here. Now, for neutral elements like this one, the number of protons will be equal to the number of electrons outside the nucleus. So that means we also have here 7. Okay, now it is given that the number of neutrons is equal to 7, right? So we know that the mass number is equal to the number of proton plus the number of neutrons. So that means the mass number is equal to the number of proton, which is 7, plus the number of neutron, which is also 7. So that means the mass number here is equal to 14. Okay, so now let's go to our last row. For our last row, we have iodine, which is having an atomic number of 53. So we know that the atomic number represents the number of protons inside the nucleus. So we have 53 atomic number. So that means we have number of proton, which is also 53. Okay, so for neutral iodine element, we have the number of proton equal to the number of electrons. So we also have 53 here. Now the mass number, as we learned, the mass number is equal to the number of proton plus the number of neutron. So we have given 127 for the mass number. The number of proton is 53. So we can find out the number of neutron. The number of neutron is equal to 127 minus 53, which is equal to 74. Okay, so that means the number of neutron is equal to 74. Right, so we finally completed our table. We will now go to problem number 2. In problem number 2, we have to indicate the number of protons, neutrons, and electrons in chlorine having superscript 35 and subscript 17. So how are we going to identify the number of protons and neutrons here? So let me write that here. We need to get the number of proton, the number of neutron, and the number of electron. Okay, so let us have a look at our given here. We have an element chlorine, which is having a superscript of 35 and subscript of 17. Okay, so we learned earlier that this subscript here represents the atomic number. And the atomic number is equal to the number of protons inside our nucleus. So if we have atomic number of 17, that means we have 17 number of protons here. Okay, so our protons is positively charged. So we have 17 of them here inside our nucleus. Now, we have here on the superscript on the top left of our symbol for our element, we have 35. And we know that this means we have our mass number. And our mass number is equal to the number of proton plus the number of neutron. So we know the mass number, which is 35. So we have here 35, which is equal to the number of proton, which is 17, plus the number of neutron. Okay, so the number of neutron is equal to 35 minus 17. So that means the number of neutron is equal to 35 minus 17, which is equal to 18. So what do we know so far? We know that the number of proton is equal to 17. And we now found out that the number of neutron is equal to 18. So how many electrons do we have? Since you do not see any charges here, that means our element is neutral. There is no charge. And that happens if the number of proton is equal to the number of electron, which is negatively charged particle, right? So that means outside our nucleus, we have electron negatively charged, which is also equal to 17. Okay, so that means our number of electrons here is equal to 17. Okay, so let's go to problem number 3. In problem number 3, let us indicate the number of protons, neutron, and electrons to this one. We have oxygen here, so it's the same procedure that we did here. We need to find the proton, electron, and neutron, right? So I'll write that here. We need the proton, electron, and neutron. Okay, so sometimes it is not written on our subscript the atomic number because this is already given. You can find this in the periodic table. Okay, so if you look at the periodic table, you will find that oxygen has an atomic number of 8. Okay, so the atomic number of oxygen is equal to 8. So sometimes it's not written here, but it is understood because you can find that in the periodic table. So if you have an atomic number of 8, that means you have a total number of 8, okay, of protons inside our nucleus. Okay, so our proton is positively charged and you have 8, okay, inside our nucleus. Now, our mass number is 16. That means since mass number is equal to the number of proton plus the number of neutron, that means the mass number 16 is equal to the number of proton, which is 8, plus the number of neutron. So the number of neutron is equal to 16 minus 8, which is also equal to 8. Okay, so that means our neutron is also equal to 8. Okay, so our neutron is uncharged, so we also have 8. Okay, so we can write that here because we already know the value. Proton, we have 8, and we have neutron, which is also 8. Now, how many electrons do we have? That's the question, because now we have charge of -2 in here. For neutral, okay, for uncharged element, we know that the number of proton is equal to the number of electrons. So in that case, we have electron, which is negatively charged, which is also equal to 8. But this is if it is neutral, that means this is equal to 0. But we have -2 here. So what does it mean? So we have to remember that our electron here is -8. Because we have 8 pieces of negatively charged electrons. So 8 times -1 will be -8. Now, if we have -2 charge here, what are we going to do? Are we going to add 2 or are we going to subtract 2? Okay, so what are we going to do with that? So that means if we have a negatively charged particle, we have more of electron. So we have 2 more of electrons here. We do not have 8. We have 2 more of electrons. So we will have +2 here. So we have +2 electron. So that means we have 10 electrons outside the nucleus. Okay, so that we will have negatively charged, because you will not be negatively charged if it is less than 8. Because if this is 6, that means you have more proton than electrons, so that means it is positively charged. Okay, so if you add 2 electrons, that means it will be more negative. So you have 8 plus 2, that means you have 10 electrons here. So you have 10 electrons, which is negatively charged. So if you look at the charges here, just to check, okay, you don't need to do this, but just to check, you'll see that proton is 8, which is positively charged. So our charge is plus 8. In here we have electron, which is negatively charged, which is 10 pieces. So we have minus 10. And neutron, which is 8, but it is negative, it is not charged, so it is 0. So how much charge do we have? 8 minus 10 plus 0 will be equal to minus 2. So that means we are having negatively charged element here. So that is how you do these ones, okay? So this is how you determine the number of electrons if it is negatively charged, okay? So now let us go to problem 4. Now in this one, we have positively charged particle here, okay? So in here, I'm going to show you how to solve this. This is the reverse of what we are doing earlier, because we are given the number of protons, the number of neutrons, and the number of electrons. Okay, so let's say you have here protons, which is 29. We have neutron, which is 34. And then we have electron, which is 27. Okay, so let us check the charges like what we have done earlier. Proton is positively charged, we have 29. Okay, so let me write with a charge here. So we have plus 29. Neutron is uncharged, so this is 0. And then electron, which is negative 27, because this is negatively charged. Okay, so plus 29 minus 27, we have a positively charged element, which is plus 2. So that means it is positively charged. Okay, so the requirement here is to write the appropriate symbol. So how are we going to do that? We have here an element which has a number of proton, which is 29. How are you going to know what is the symbol of the element? So the number of protons is equal to the atomic number, right? So what you're going to do is to check this in the periodic table. If you check the periodic table, you have to locate the atomic number, which is 29. So if you look at the periodic table, you will find out that the element having an atomic number of 29 is the element copper. Okay, so copper has an atomic number of 29. So if you want to write that, okay, so let me write that bigger because we need to get the appropriate symbol. So let's say here I have a bigger symbol here, which is copper. Okay, so for copper, we know that the protons, or the atomic number, is equal to the number of proton, which is 29. So that will be written here in the subscript. Okay, now what's next? We need to find out the mass number, which is written on the top left. Okay, so the mass number, okay, so the mass number is equal to the number of proton plus the number of neutron. Okay, so the mass number is equal to, what is the number of proton we have? 29 plus the number of neutron, which is 34. That means the mass number is equal to 29 plus 34, which is equal to 63. Okay, so we have the mass number, and we know that the mass number is written here on the top right? So this will be 63. Okay, so now we have a positively charged element here. If you don't write anything here, that means this is neutral. And neutral means the number of proton will be equal to the number of electron, but it is not. We have proton, which is 29, and we have electron, which is 27. So you have to write on the top right the charge, where in this case the charge is plus 2. Okay, and to write that, you have to write 2 first followed by the sign. Okay, so as you can see, this is our final answer here, which is the appropriate symbol for the species having 29 proton, 34 neutrons, and 27 electrons. Okay, so I hope that you learned from this lecture video. Thank you very much and have a nice day.